morning, students. Today we will discuss about the zoology practicals for class B.Sc Part 3rd. In this lecture, we study about the how to attempt the exercise come in the spotting during the practical examination. In spotting, there are 5 to 6 animal specimen which put in the animal specimen. You have to write their classification, you have to draw their labeled diagram, and you have to write down their comments, and in 3 minutes of time during. And let's start from the first Eurocodate, that is Ascidia. Its systematic position is phylum Chordata, subphylum Eurochordata, class Ascidia, order Enterogona, genus Ascidia. This is the classification or systematic position of Ascidia, and this is anatomy or the longitudinal section of the sea squirrel or Ascidia. There is a small animal and two body parts. This is the trunk and this is the foot. By foot, it attaches to a substratum or rock with the help of this foot. And this trunk is surrounded by a taste made up of tunicin, and this is a mental cavity. Mental cavity surrounds all body organs are situated in the mental cavity. There are two siphons, that branchial siphon and atrial siphon, and two apertures respectively, branchial aperture and atrial aperture. Branchial aperture open into a large pharynx, highly perforated pharynx, and pharynx continue into through the esophagus into the stomach, and stomach open into the intestine, small intestine, and intestine open through anus in the atrium, and atrium is open to outside through the atriopore. This is the digestive system, and the pharynx is perforated. The perforations or pores are called as the gill slits, and numerous gill slits are there. This is the neural gland found in the at the dorsal side of the pharynx, and this is the ganglion. Only the reduced ganglion or dorsal nervous system is reduced degenerated into a neural gland. This is all about the anatomy of sea squirrel or Ascidia. And what Ascidia, in this video we will see the how a Ascidia is embedded in the mud of the ocean. In the mud, they are embedded in a particular place, or they are attached with the help of their foot. These are all Ascidian or European. There are numerous Ascidian are embedded in this mud. This is their branchial aperture, and this is the squirrels, and they expel out the water in their body from these two apertures. Therefore, they are called as sea squirrel, samudri fawara, and or the sea showers, samudri fawara. इसलिए इनको samudri fawara के नाम से जाना जाता है. Now, the general characters: Ascidia is exclusively marine and occur at all depths of the sea, and it is sessile in adult stage, but the larva is free swimming form. The adult contain the attached to the bottom by the strata with the help of foot. Ascidia is a microphagous animal. It is feed on the microorganism, just like phytoplankton, zooplankton, and obtain their food with the help of ciliary action. Ascidia in adult stage is solitary animal having a bag-like body. The surface is smooth and naked. The body is covered by a thick, slightly cartilaginous or translucent tunic or taste. Because of the presence of tunic, these are called as tunicates or tunicata. The outer surface of the taste forms a thin, transparent cuticle or mantle that is composed of a protein entirely. Feeble musculature is seen throughout the mantle, and even around the siphon. The free end of the body bears two apertures. At the branchial siphon containing a mouth, and the other is placed at the side, and this is called as atrial siphon or atrial funnel. The atriopore is situated in the middle of the atrial siphon. Due to extensive development, coelom is greatly reduced by the atrium. Like this is the coelom is restricted in the pericardial cavity or gonadal cavity. The reduction of coelom is regarded as to be the degenerative acquisition. The movement is absent, and movement there is no locomotion found in the any urochordate. Only this is restricted to the larval stage only, restricted to the contraction of the body by muscles and the fiber and the closer to the funnel. But the tadpole larva swims actively or freely, openly in water. They are free swimmers, but the adult are not free swimmers. The digestive system of Ascidia contain alimentary canal and digestive glands. The alimentary canal forms the loop of the left side of the branchial sac and starts from the mouth and to the anus. The pharynx extend nearly up to the base of the body and remain attached with the mantle along the ventral side. Whole pharynx is enclosed by a special cavity called atrium. Atrium open into the exterior by through atriopore. There is no liver, not at all. Liver is not found. Liver is absent. Pyloric gland is found. Pyloric gland is composed of the numerous small sacs or ampulla remain in contact with the outer wall of the interior intestine. From the esophagus, the food particles pass through the stomach for the digestion and absorption is there. Digested food is absorbed by the intestine and the undigested food is expelled out through atriopore outside to the outside. The circulatory system consists of the blood, heart, and there is open circulation. There is no blood vessels are found. Only blood is colorless and heart is there. Heart is there. Heart is found in the upper circulation. The blood contains colorless plasma and the few corpuscles, Ascidia-like capillaries. As a result of plasma, the blood and body tissue fluid become the intermingled, and so there is no color at all in the blood. The fluid contains lymphocytes, phagocytes, macrophage, vacuolated compartment of cells, and the many colored and colorless cells in the blood. Now, second one is the Ciona. Ciona is the systematic position, phylum Chordata, subphylum Urochordata, class Ascidia, order Enterogona, and genus Ciona. Now, this is the structure of Ciona. Just like Ascidia, there is also two siphons of Ciona are there, the branchial siphon, and this is the atrial siphon, and this is the largest body part is the pharynx. This is also called as branchial basket and perforated by gill slits. And this is continuous with the intestine, and the intestine open into the atrium, and atrium is open through the atriopore at the atrial siphon towards outside. This is the foot, and this is mantle made up of tunic or tunicin. General characters of Ciona, they are there. The Ciona intestinalis is the well distributed throughout the world, including many European oceans. Ciona intestinalis are usually found in the silty conditions in 500 depth of water. There are often found growing a great number such man-made structures like piers, plains, and marine aquaria, etc. Ciona are known as for their soft tunics and flexible bodies because the upper part of their body can drawn into the lower part, like the finger of the gloves, and it is sessile or adhesive at a particular place with the help of their foot, usually attached to a substrata such as the weed, solitary or non-colonial organism. It is a greenish, translucent and tubular with the terminal inhalant or a subterminal exhalant siphon. The inhalant siphon is surrounded by 6 to 8 lobes. The retractor muscles, gut, gonad, and large filter feeding and respiratory pharynx can sometimes be seen through the body walls. Or this is because the body wall is translucent, and you can see from the outside what are there inside the body. Lifespan of the most Ascidian is about 1 year. The Ciona intestinalis is the hermaphrodite and releases sperm and egg through the exhalant siphon. Fertilization occurs at the sea in the open water, and the tadpole-like larva form from the 25 hours later. The larva lasts about 36 hours depending on the temperature of the area, after which it settled and metamorphosed into adult. Now, third one is the Botrylus. Botrylus is also in Urochordate, Ascidian, and its systematic position is this. The phylum is Chordata, and because the notochord is present, subphylum is Urochordata because the notochord is present restricted to the tail region only. and the class Ascidia, bag-like structure of body, and order is Pleurogona. Pleuro means beside, and gona means gonads. The gonads are present located at the beside of the intestinal loop. Genus Botrylus. Now this is the structure of Botrylus, and this is these are the so many Botrylus are seen inside the sea, inside the ocean bed, seabed, and these are the parts of a Botrylus, and this is the colonial animal. All the colonies, the branchial aperture of the each individual or each zooid is individual, but the atrial aperture are combined or cumulative of all the members of a colony and open into a common aperture that is called common atrial aperture. General characters. Botrylus sclosary is a sessile compound cosmopolitan acidian commonly found in the solid strata and in the subtidal zone. Colonies are comprised of the numerous stellate system of colonial zooids embedded in a common gelatinous matrix. Zooids share a vascular system made up of network of blood vessels and terminate in the pigmented ampulla of peripheral of the colony. Individual zooid possess their own buccal siphon, but they share a common atrial siphon. Just now I told you. Botrylus sclosary is a filter feeder extracting phytoplankton, zooplankton, and organic matter from the suspension. The water is drawn through the buccal siphon into the branchial basket of each zooid. A ciliary current water drawn through the pharyngeal slits and through the food particle becomes the trapped and diffused mucus net secreted by the endostyle, and this net is then conveyed to the ciliary movement towards the esophagus and in the stomach ultimately there for the digestion and for absorption. Intestine in the absorption is the found in the intestinal region. Waste product and larva are expelled out through a atriopore to the outside by excellent siphon. Botrylus sclosary is a cyclic hermaphrodite. Testes only mature several days after the ovulation and thus prevent the self-fertilization. Only cross-fertilization is there. Cross-fertilization because self-fertilization because the testes and ovary are not mature at a time. Fertilized eggs give rise a large tadpole larvae which are brooded in the atrium until mature and then released via the excellent canal into the water column. Larvae bear all prototype chordate characteristics. Notochord is present, dorsal hollow nerve cord is present, posternal tail is present, pharyngeal gills are present, and the endostyle is present. All these chordate characters are present in the larval form, but in adult form they are all degenerated because the adult form is the degenerated type. This is called retrogressive metamorphosis. Following settlement and the larva metamorphose into a sessile juvenile Ascidian losing the posternal tail and notochord. The colony reaches the sexual maturity at the 1 or 2 month age. Sperm mature rapidly in each zooid's testis, but the ova maturing in a zooid are derived from the oogonia produced by an earlier individual in the colony. Fertilization is internal, and the fertilized egg are brooded in the atrium until the tadpole-like larvae are mature enough for dispersal. The larvae of Botrylus sclosary exhibit positive phototaxis and negative geotaxis. Towards the light, they show the taxism towards the light beyond the gravitational force. Dispersal. Botrylus, like the all tunicate, have a biphasic life cycle with a mobile larval phase and the sessile adult phase. Larvae only remain in the plankton and a short period of thus have limited dispersal capabilities. Long distances dispersal events are throughout to be facilitated by the settlement of Botrylus larvae on the mobile artificial substances such as ship. In fact, it is thought that this may be allowed to spread throughout the world. And regeneration. Last one is the regeneration is the characteristic feature of Botrylus. Botrylids Ascidian are rare exceptions with the ability to generate an entire functional zooid from only a fragment of blood vessel. Only one fragment of blood vessel can regenerate the entire whole body of a Botrylid, and a few blood cells within the 10 to 14 days in a phenomenon known as the whole body regeneration. This This magnificent regenerative ability is found in the Botrylus. Thank you. Thank you very much.